First rates any second now will just pop up on your screen, and let's say get, set, go. So like you always say before a sprint, on your marks, get, set and go. And it's a flat start with just no bias per se actually for the market, just no bias. 1% here or there for the Nifty, 1 point actually, 1 point here or there for the Nifty. Similarly, same thing can also be attributed for the small cap index and for the mid cap. The breadth is looking powerful, but I would wait for the breadth actually to settle down before you come up with any kind of very meaningful number per se. Advanced decline positive. Let's look at some newsmakers. Last week the big newsmaker was GMR. On Friday it was a newsmaker. 5-star was a newsmaker. Gale has been in the news per se. These are 3 large newsmakers you want to see. Now let's look at individual names here. HDFC Bank, Kotak, ICICI Bank, and to a large extent Axis Bank. Is there inertia in some of the large cap banks? Are they picking weight from where they left last week? And the answer to that is well, they're taking it easy. The breadth I think is still the talking point, and the brokerage impact on stocks like Oberoi Realty and Saregama I think is visible. So it's a thanda start, Aisha. Nothing large, nothing meaningful, on expected lines. Markets are simply consolidating.
Yeah, consolidating some more, but let's take a look at some of the individual stocks which are in focus. You just flagged off GMR Airports. There's also GMR Power. Some of the newspapers are reporting that they perhaps may be in talks with some of the infra-focused and sovereign wealth funds to raise some amount of cash. 5% higher for GMR Power as we speak right now. The other stocks in focus this morning, and there's Subros as well. They've already bagged a 25 crore rupee order from Railways for ACs. The government, remember, has made AC cabins mandatory. 13% gap up coming in on Subros this morning. Mazgaon, and we're going to be chatting with the management as well shortly on the show. They've bagged an order worth about 1145 crore rupees from ONGC, so look out for that as well. And Tata Motors too, which is going to be increasing the price of its CVs up to about 3% from January 1st next year. So that's another stock which is in focus. There's DRL as well. We already told you about the news flow, and brokerages like Antique are now saying that US FD observations for their Bachupalli unit can actually lead to a warning letter. DRL has gapped down. 6.5% is the kind of cut that you're on DRL alone. There's Cipla as well, wherein one of their subsidiaries has voluntarily recalled one lot of one of their seizure drugs. So look out for what that stock as well does in trade this morning. Just a bunch of other names. There's Cyient, like we told you. The management meet takeaways indicate that they are targeting a revenue CAGR of 10 to 20% over the next 3 to 5 years. Cyient has made a decent move, about 2% higher or so. And Max Healthcare, we just flagged off this stock for you. They've acquired a hospital in Lucknow, so look out for that. Max Healthcare starts off absolutely flat in trade. There's MedPlus as well, wherein their subsidiary has received orders from the DGCA, or rather DCA, for suspension of drug license for about 7 days. MedPlus will just come for you on your screens, not really seeing any material impact. Aditya Vision, MK has initiated a buy with a target price of 5,000 rupees per share on this one. So that's another stock in focus. But REC, Z, India Cements, RBL Bank, the momentum movers from last week. Let's check in on those. They continue to hold higher. Some more momentum for REC, flat for Z right now. RBL Bank, still further up move, almost a 2% bump up after a 4.5% traction coming in on Friday alone. Kunal, flat for the index, lot of individual stock action. What trades are you executing?
Yeah, so I think the mid caps today are looking a bit more charged up as compared to the large caps. So we'll see whether this is a trend in the making for the rest of the day, or it's just a partial trend for the start. In terms of the opening trade, Infosys is something which I'll be bullish on. We flagged off TCS earlier. Even Infosys, given that breakout above 1500 mark, looks attractive for a buy at current levels.
All right, sticking with large cap IT. What about you, Naresh? What's the trend that you're observing, and what's your first trade?
So continue like the banking space. So ICICI Bank is one which can break out, and IndusInd is another. So like ICICI Bank for a breakout move for the next few sessions.